Now in this lecture we are going to find the what is the efficiency of a transformer and what is the condition for the maximum efficiency to take from the transformer. Efficiency of a transformer. See, suppose here if we take the two winding transformer, this is the primary winding, this is the symbolic representation of the primary winding and secondary winding. Across the secondary, the load is connected here. The voltage across the load that you take as the V2. The current here you take it as I2. Here we are giving the supply. Here we are giving the supply. Now Wi that you take it as a iron loss in a transformer or constant losses also. Nothing but these losses are constant. This loss does not depending upon how much load we connected across a transformer. Next, WC that you take it as a copper loss in a transformer. Copper loss in transformer. Now this we can write it as a I2 square RE2. What is I2 means? The secondary current RE2 is nothing but a equivalent resistance of a total transformer with regard to the secondary. We are assuming that the primary winding parameters also will be transferred to the secondary. So RE2 is nothing but a equivalent resistance of a transformer with regard to the secondary. Now the efficiency of a transformer is defined as it is a ratio between the output power to the input power. Output power to the input power. It is generally represented by the eta that is equal to output power divided by the input power into 100. That this value is nothing but a percentage value. Now we are finding the output power. Output power equal to V2 I2 cos pi 2. Vt is nothing but voltage across the load. It is nothing but secondary current. Cos pi t is nothing but the angle between the V2 and I2. It is highly depending upon the what nature of load we connected across the secondary winding of a transformer, whether it is a resistive load or inductive load or the capacitive load. Okay. Next, input of a transformer. Input power of a transformer that is equal to output power plus total losses in transformer. Now this is equal to, already we know the expression for the output power V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus total losses, already we know iron loss plus copper loss. The same equation we can write it as a V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus Wi plus, in place of copper loss we can write it as a I2 square RE2. This is the input power. Now the efficiency of a transformer, eta equal to output power nothing but a V2 I2 cos pi 2 divided by V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus constant losses plus copper loss I2 square RE2 into 100. This is the expression for the efficiency of a transformer if we know the secondary voltage and secondary current and power factor and copper losses as well as the iron losses in a transformer. Now here, suppose if you want to find out the how much load the transformer is giving the maximum efficiency, to find that condition here, see here, the load across the transformer is changing. As the load across the transformer is changing, the losses in a transformer also will be changing, and along with the losses, this current also will be changes. I2 also will be changes. Now ultimately what is the parameter changing means, as the load is increases, the secondary current will be changes. Now we have to differentiate this equation with respect to the I2 and equate to the 0. Now when you differentiate this equation with respect to the I2, if you apply the U by V formula, d eta by di2, this is equal to V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus Wi plus I2 square Re2 into derivative of this quantity numerator nothing but we are getting the V2 cos pi 2. Now the numerator is over minus V2 I2 cos pi by 2 into derivative of this denominator with respect to the I2. So we are getting the V2 cos pi by 2 plus 2 I2 Re2 divided by whole divided by the denominator square of the denominator nothing but V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus Wi plus I2 square Re2 whole square. This is equal to 0 because we are going to find out the maximum condition for the maximum efficiency. So if you cross multiply, then the numerator equal to the 0. So now it becomes it will be simplified for the V2 I2 cos pi 2 plus Wi plus I2 square Re2 into V2 cos pi by 2 equal to, now here I2 have taken inside V2 cos pi by 2 V2 I2 cos pi by 2 plus plus I2 square Re2. Now this gets cancelled. Now finally we are getting the expression. See here this quantity and left hand side and right hand side this quantity gets cancelled. So if you simplify this equation, now iron losses equal to, if you take this quantity that side, here we are getting 2. Here we are getting the 2. So iron loss equal to I2 square Re2. Nothing but iron loss, nothing but constant loss is equal to variable loss. So what we can understand from this equation means we have to apply the load on a transformer such a way that the constant loss is equal to the variable loss, nothing but copper loss. Then only at that condition the transformer is giving the maximum efficiency. The transformer is giving the maximum efficiency. Now from this expression we are going to calculate the, suppose if you want to calculate the load current, nothing but I2 means we can calculate directly I2 equal to Wi by Re2 whole root. But always the load is represented in kVA only, not in terms of current, So we have to find out the load kVA corresponding to the maximum efficiency. Nothing but this current is corresponding to the maximum efficiency. This current is corresponding to the maximum efficiency. Now same equation we are writing I2 equal to square root of constant losses divided by Re2. Numerator and denominator you multiply with a square of the full load current. Full load secondary current. Now when you multiply with the numerator and denominator with same quantity, that value does not changes. So here numerator this quantity take outside. Now this is equal to I2F square root of iron loss divided by this quantity is representing the full load copper loss. That we are representing as a WCF. F is nothing but a full load copper loss. Now it is multiplied with the I2F, it is equal to I2. Throughout the equation, you multiply with the V2. V2 I2 equal to V2 I2F square root of iron loss divided by the full load copper loss. Now divide by the 1000, both sides. Divided by the 1000. Now this equation is representing that this is nothing but a load kVA. Now this is nothing but a load kVA at maximum efficiency equal to this quantity is representing a rating of a transformer into kVA rating of transformer into square root of constant losses divided by full load copper loss. So this is the final expression. So what is the importance of calculating the load kVA corresponding to the maximum efficiency means for a given transformer, if you know this value, then we apply the load on a transformer such a way that it is giving the maximum efficiency. Suppose let me take one example. We have a one transformer of a 500 kVA rating, but this transformer is giving a maximum efficiency at a 400 kVA. Now what we have to do? We are always trying to put a load on a transformer such a way that around this value, because the transformer is giving the maximum efficiency at this value. So whenever you are applying the load on a transformer around this value, the transformer always giving the maximum efficiency. Nothing but we are using the transformer in a better manner, in the best manner, so that theoretically we are calculating the what is the load kV corresponding to the maximum efficiency. But here this expression is consisting a constant losses. How do you find these constant losses? Means by conducting a OC test on a transformer. Full load copper loss. How do you find the full load copper loss? Means by conducting a SC test on a transformer. In OC test, the wattmeter reading is representing the constant losses. In SC test, if we send the full load current, the wattmeter reading is representing the full load copper loss. Once we conduct those two tests on a given transformer, the kVA rating always given to the manufacturer. We know these two quantities and this quantity, then we can find out the left hand side this quantity. Once you know, for given transformer, once you know this value, then we apply the load on the transformer so that we can extract the maximum efficiency of a transformer. Now the efficiency of a transformer is defined as the ratio between the output power to the input power of a transformer. The efficiency of a transformer eta equal to output power divided by the input power of a transformer into 100. Now the same thing we are writing the output power in terms of output power divided by the output power plus total losses in a transformer. This total losses is consisting iron loss as well as a C. Let's take the Wi is the constant losses in a transformer, Wc is the copper loss in a transformer, that we are writing as a I2 square Re2. Just now we have seen. Now the output of transformer, that is equal to V2 I2 cos pi 2. Here we can take it as pi 2 or pi, anything. Nothing but it is representing the angle between the V2 and I2. Now here the input of a transformer, that is equal to V2 into I2 into cos pi plus Wi plus I2 square Re2. The efficiency of a transformer equal to V2 I2 cos pi divided by V2 I2 cos pi plus Wi plus I2 square Re2 into 100. Now to find the maximum efficiency of a transformer, differentiate the equation with respect to the I2 and equate to the 0. Now we are equating the 0. Once we are equating the 0, the denominator quantity is equal to 0. So finally we are getting the expression Wi equal to I2 square Re2, nothing but a constant loss is equal to copper loss. Now from this value, already we know how to calculate this one. First we are calculating the I2. Then we are multiplying with a numerator. Already we know this. We have seen how to derive this one. So load kVA at maximum efficiency equal to kVA rating of a transformer. kVA rating of a transformer square root of constant losses divided by the full load copper loss. Divided by the full load copper loss. The voltage regulation. It is a ratio between the change in secondary voltage from no load to the full load value. Nothing but a voltage regulation of a transformer. Voltage regulation of a transformer. It is ratio between change in secondary voltage from no load to full load to the rated secondary voltage. Secondary rated voltage. Generally it is represented as a voltage regulation of transformer. VR that is we are representing VR no load voltage. If you take the no load voltage E2 naught minus full load voltage E2 divided by the E2 naught into 100 is nothing but a voltage regulation of a given transformer at a full load. This, not only the full load, at any value you can calculate. But here it is representing the what is the maximum voltage drop in a transformer that it represented by the voltage regulation of a transformer. See here, what is E naught means E2 naught equal to no load secondary voltage. E2 is nothing but a full load secondary voltage. Now we are going to derive the expression for this one. Voltage regulation in a transformer. To derive the expression for the voltage regulation in transformer, let's take the equivalent circuit of a transformer. To derive the expression for the voltage regulation transformer, now take the equivalent circuit of transformer with refer to the secondary. Nothing but this is RE2, this is XE2, this is E2 naught, nothing but no load voltage. This is the E2, full load voltage. This is RE2, this is XE2, this current is nothing but I2. Now, the angle between the E2 and I2 is highly depending upon the what nature of load we connected here. Now we are going to draw the phasor diagram. Take the E2 here and the some of the others are taken, this is V2 also. Some others are taking this load voltage taking the V2. So better, okay. Now here, you take this is we are following V2 only. Now here, you have taken the V2. See, from this point we are following the V2. So, we have taken the reference phasor as a V2. Current lags the voltage this one by I2 because we connected the lagging load. Lagging load. Now, I2 R2 drop. Nothing but this drop. We are going to find out what is the phasor for this one. What is the phasor for this one? So, I2 R2 drop we are adding here. This is I2 RE2. Now the voltage drop in this reactor is perpendicular to the reactor. This is nothing but a I2 XE2. I2 XE2. If you find the phasor sum of these two, this is nothing but a I2 ZE2. If you find the phasor sum of V2 and I2 ZE2, that is representing the E2 naught. Now this you take the O, this is A. See here we are doing some manipulation. Here. Now this point you take it as B. This point you take it as C. This point you take it as D. This point you take it as E. This point you take it as F. This angle also nothing but a pi by 2. This angle becomes a this angle becomes a pi by 2. Now this angle becomes a 90 minus pi by 2. Apply the triangular theorems. You are getting that. You come to know that angle. So this is pi by 2. This is the angle is 90 minus pi by 2. 90 minus pi by 2. Okay. Now, if you are approximating this, now we are going to find out what is the magnitude of E2 naught. E2 naught. Now, we are projecting this one. Now, E2 naught length equal to the length OE. The length OC. Sorry. The length, this is C. The length OC. So, the E2 naught equal to the length OC. The length OC we can write it as a, the length OC we can write it as a, this we can write it as a OA plus AB plus BC. The length of OA becomes a V2 or E2. The length OA becomes a V2. OA, this is length V2. AB becomes a, see in this triangle, in the triangle ABF, if we take the cos, then you can find out the length AB. Now length AB equal to I2 RE2 cos pi by 2. The same manner, in this triangle, see, in the triangle EFD, now we are finding the EF. To find the EF, you take the cos of 90 minus theta. Cos of 90 minus theta, then we are getting the EF value in terms of sine. This EF equal to triangle EFD cos 90 minus pi by 2 equal to EF divided by FD. So, EF equal to FD, nothing but FD equal to I2 XE2 sin pi by 2. Sin pi by 2. I2 XE2 sin pi by 2. This EF equal to BC from this rectangle. This is equal to BC. Now, in place of BC, you are substituting this one. Rewrite this equation. E2 naught equal to V2 plus I2 RE2 cos pi by 2 plus I2 XE2 sin pi by 2. Now take the V to this side. E2 naught minus V2 divide equal to I2 RE2 cos pi by 2 plus I2 XE2 sin pi by 2. Now divide both sides by E2 naught. This is E2 naught. Into 100 both sides. This is equal to voltage regulation of a transformer. Voltage regulation of a transformer. So finally, if you write the expression for the voltage regulation, final expression, this is the derivation for the voltage regulation of a transformer. See here, plus or minus, plus for the lagging power factor, whereas minus for the leading power factor. Nothing but if the type of load what is connected across the secondary winding across these two terminals, if it is a lagging power factor means here you take the plus. In this formula you have to take the plus. Otherwise, if the load is the leading power factor, here you have to take it as a minus. Now once again we are defining all, recollecting all the variables. IT is nothing but a load current in a secondary winding. RE2 is nothing but a total equivalent resistance of a transformer with refer to the secondary side. XE2 is nothing but a total equivalent resistance of a transformer. XE2 is nothing but a total leakage reactance of transformer with refer to the secondary side. The denominator here E2 naught is nothing but a no load secondary voltage into 100, nothing but a, this is the voltage, this is the formula for the voltage regulation of a transformer. This is the formula for the voltage regulation of a transformer. This is very, very important. See here, if we take this current as a full load current, at a full load, if we take this current, this is nothing but a full load regulation. Suppose if we take this current at a half load, this is the half load voltage regulation. Suppose if we take this current corresponding to the 3/4 load, then this voltage regulation becomes a voltage regulation at a half 3/4 load. 3/4 load. See, in this manner, at any value of load, we can calculate the voltage regulation of a transformer by using this formula. By using this formula. Now, so with this, the derivation of the voltage regulation of a transformer is over. The main important why you are going to calculate this voltage regulation means to know how much voltage is given by the transformer for given value of load. For given value of load. Suppose we have a transformer. We have a transformer. We have a transformer. This is one transformer. Here the load is there. This transformer is giving a power to the load. This transformer is giving a power to the load. Up to certain value of the load. So what is the voltage given by the transformer is okay to the load. Suppose all these loads are single phase loads. This voltage 220 volts is required, all loads. So up to certain value of load, so whatever the voltage given by the transformer is sufficient to the load, that is up to 200 it is okay. Up to 200, okay. If further increasing the load on a transformer, the voltage given by the transformer to the load will be further drastically decreases. It may come to the 180 volts. So whenever the voltage given by the transformer to the load is decreases, as the load is increases drastically, the performance of the load will be affected. The performance of the load will be affected. That information we come to know from the voltage regulation calculation of a